Things have changed a lot at the Ford Motor Company since it was founded in 1903. In that year, Henry Ford opened a small factory in Detroit, Michigan, and began to produce Model A cars. These early Model A's were sold for $750, and the very first one was delivered to a Dr. E. Fenning of Chicago, Illinois on July 15, 1903. The first Ford was exported only a few months later. It was the sixth car produced by the company and was sold to a Canadian. In all, 658 cars were sold that first year. In 1908, production was begun on the most popular of the early Ford automobiles, the Model T. In the first year alone, more than 10,000 Model Ts were sold for $825 each. The Model T became more and more popular, and before long, Henry Ford's factories were unable to make cars fast enough. Then, in 1913, Ford began producing cars on an assembly line, and by the end of the year a Ford car was being produced every 10 seconds. The Model T was sold all over the world. In 1911, a Ford factory was opened in Manchester, England, to produce Model Ts, and French and German plants were opened soon after. The Model T was in production from 1908 until 1927, and a total of 15,456,868 of them were sold during those 19 years. But not all of Ford's cars were as popular as the Model T. In 1957, the company made perhaps its biggest mistake when it began to produce a new car called the Edsel. The Edsel was one of the most unpopular automobiles ever made and was in production for only 2 years. Of course, Ford has also made some cars that have done very well: the Thunderbird, the Mustang, and the Lincoln Continental, to name only a few. Every year, over 6 million Ford cars are sold in more than 200 countries around the world. In 1903, the 300 men who were employed in Henry Ford's first small factory in Detroit produced 25 cars. Today, the Ford Motor Company employs over 500,000 workers around the world, and they produce over 34,000 cars a day. There are Ford plants from Australia to Portugal, from Brazil to the UK. Henry Ford's small company has grown into one of the largest car manufacturers in the world.